I'm talking here about three major qualities that are useful to know on the path, rather than what do I do. Maybe sometimes it's good to concentrate or bring focus to how I do what I'm doing. And so I've got three. It's by no means exhaustive, but these three are humility, courage, and patience on the path. Humility, the willingness to surrender the ego's sense of control, recognizing that the journey is one of constant learning and unlearning. Humility allows the seeker to approach life with openness and the understanding that true wisdom is not something to grasp, but something to embody. So humility is in many ways our capacity to let go of what we think we know or who we think we are. That is what needs to be let go of. We build these defenses, we build these structures, we build these ideas of ourselves, and then they define us, and then we can't let go of them because we don't like or know, or we fear who we'll be without them. But let go we must. And humility is, almost one of the primary qualities, one of the primary things on the path. Humility doesn't come without insight. Humility doesn't come without some degree of intelligence. The capacity to look at ourselves, the capacity to see inside situations, the capacity to turn away from the prison of arrogance, defendedness, to fall from the mighty pedestal that we've put ourselves on. And then, believe me, the pedestal can just as much be victim consciousness as aggressor consciousness. It covers the whole array of the human experience. And so to know humility, to fall into a deeper humility is essential, is the path that takes us to grace. It's essential. You've got to let go of the one who thinks they know, the one who thinks they are who they think they are. Let go of any arrogance. Nobody knows anything. Really, nobody knows anything. Everybody's just guessing. So to fall from the pedestal that one has put oneself on is a very great blessing, believe. Courage on the path. The bravery to face one's own inner darkness, fears and unresolved wounds without turning away. Courage is needed to embrace the unknown, to step into the deep silence and stillness of being, where all preconceptions and attachments fall away. Courage. We tend to associate courage with some sort of, strength, outer strength to, battle our way through. But this is not true courage. True courage, certainly in the sense, in the context of this kind of video, of this kind of exploration of spiritual depth and spiritual realization, the search for truth, the search for relief, the search for peace, inner peace, requires the courage to turn around from facing the world and to turn within. Just this simple knowing requires courage to know I'm not facing that way anymore, I'm facing this way. To go within. Most people can't go within. And I understand that. I think, that I battled with the innermost for many years. I battled with the demons on the inside. I battled with my darkness. I battled with my pain. I battled with my anger. I battled with just everything, that I was. And it did take a long time. It took a long time and a lot of courage and a lot of humility and a lot of insight and a lot of patience, which I'll come to next. But I think on the whole, one of the things that has defined me in a way is that I've had a courage, a tenacity I could call it, the courage to show up. The courage to show up. It's simple really, isn't it? The courage to show up and face what needs to be faced without a story that comes in behind it, saying, oh, you can't do this, oh, it's too much, oh, all of the kind of stories that we carry around inside ourselves. Say, no, not this time. I'm going beyond the stories. I'm going beyond the limitations that I've put up upon myself unwittingly. And I've got the courage. Everybody has courage. Some find it, some don't find it. Many would rather do battle with the outside world than do battle with the inside world. So to have the courage to face oneself, to face one's inner darkness, to face the demons, the grievances, the suffering, the horror, the stories, the past, the unknown, the control, to face the whole sorry thing without overlaying it, without, even seeking to fix it. The raw facing of ourselves. What greater courage is there than that? Yeah, so beautiful. So courage, and to have the patience to not rush. The ability to remain steady, allowing the process of unfolding to happen in its own time without forcing or rushing. Spiritual growth is often subtle and gradual, requiring a deep trust in the divine timing of life and in the organic nature of awakening. I put out a video a few days ago, I think, about trust. Trusting the life that unfolds. And this is the same thing. Patience. Patience. The patience to trust what is unfolding. The patience to trust that with the courage and with the humility and with a kind of persistence to keep digging, to keep unfolding oneself, to keep unraveling oneself, to keep untethering oneself, to keep inquiring into the self, into what it is that stands in the way, to keep clearing the decks, to keep emptying the temple, requires patience. It really does. If you get impatient, you're back in stuckness. I remember many years ago, one of the first jobs in London I had was in a very grand sort of private club, I think it was, on Pall Mall, directors club. And we this guy and I were told to go downstairs to the basement into door 3 or whatever it was, and to clear out everything that was in it. So we went downstairs to door 3 or whatever it was, and we opened the door, and it was a huge squash court, absolutely rammed with old furniture that was no longer required. And our job was to sort through this furniture, old, 19th, 18th, 19th, early 20th century furniture, and do things kind of with it. And the reason I'm saying that is because, I was a little punk, I was a wild guy, and I didn't care about such things, But I knew that if we were going to get this job done, it would require a lot of patience. Patience. Just now, just focusing on now. What am I doing now? Well, I was lifting that and moving it around. By and by, which is, as you know or don't know, my favourite expression in many ways, because by and by is patience. By and by things change. By and by, transformation happens. Not laziness. There is no room for laziness on the path. Laziness doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. Relaxation is beautiful. Laziness is anathema. So by and by, with humility, with courage, with persistence, and with a drop of grace, by and by, transformation begins to happen. But you have to have these qualities, almost, not ticking off box, the box of, I'm ticking off this, but actually deeply in your soul, deeply in your being, deeply into your essence. What do you really want? Because if you really want freedom, you're going to have to get humble. You're going to have courage. And you're going to have to be patient. Because the ego self, the self that has built itself up over a long period of time, doesn't just let go because you've had enough of it. I've had enough of my ego. I'm going to do something else. It doesn't work like that. This is a life journey. This is like the ultimate destruction of self. Only it's not, the mind's idea of the destruction. It's much different from that. It has much more grace in it than that. It has much more beauty in it than that. But it requires this courage and patience and trust. Because it doesn't, we don't just change because we want to. We change because we have to. But that doesn't make it any easier. We still have to meet ourselves and face ourselves and dissolve what is no longer working or constructive or healing or peaceful. We have to heal our suffering somehow. And these are the three qualities that contribute to that. They're not the only things, but they are beautiful qualities to consider, contemplate for yourself. This is all down to each of us to do these things for ourselves with the support and, backing, if you like, of other people. So that's what I have to say. Many blessings to you. Thank you.